So I am doing a presentation that mainly focuses on deferred action for childhood arrivals. And that was began back in 2012 under the Obama administration through an executive order that he issued. And that is for children who arrived here who were under 31 years of age on June 15th, 2012. And they came to the US while they were under the age of 16. They've continuously resided in the US from June 15th, 2007 to June 15th, 2012. They entered the United States without inspection or fell out of lawful visa status, and they were out of status on June 15th, 2012. They're physically present in the United States on June 15th, 2012, and they make the request for the consideration to USCIS. Now, many of you have seen my presentations before and know that there's been a lot of litigation around DACA. And so these are the requirements for DACA. You have to have gone to school in the United States. You cannot be convicted of a felony offense or significant misdemeanor. Significant misdemeanor was, they decided that meant a DWI. So if you have a DWI, you will not be eligible for DACA, and you cannot pose a threat to the national security of the United States or public safety. And those are renewable for two-year periods. So and also they are now accepting new applications, which they were not before. So there was a USCIS report that was released in November of 2019. I know that I personally volunteered back in 2012 when the program was new at the Mexico Embassy, which is here in Dallas, to help young people complete their forms. And I've tried to, I love the DACA, the Dreamers. I really enjoy working with them a lot. They're mostly very amazing young people. And these are the types of people that are getting approved and the type of records they have. There's a lot of information out there saying that these kids are, bad kids and things like that. And this is just really meant to dispel those myths, this slide here. And you can see that of the approved DACA requesters with an arrest, 85% of them were not arrested or apprehended before their most recent DACA application, and 31% with an arrest, and those that they had more than one arrest. And so it's a very small percentage of the young people that qualify for DACA that have had any arrests at all. You can see at the top, the slide, that the top bullet point, 110,000 requesters out of 889,000, so just 12%. For the most part, these are really good young kids that just need a chance, just like everyone else that comes to America wants. And so, like I was saying earlier, there have been a lot of cases brought and litigation about the DACA program. On September 5th of 2017, the Trump administration tried to end it, and there were several lawsuits filed challenging that. Even during the Obama administration, there were several lawsuits. And ultimately, on June 18th of 2020, so just last year, the United States Supreme Court issued a decision ruling that the Trump administration had violated the Administrative Procedures Act by acting arbitrarily and capriciously to end the DACA program. So arbitrarily and capriciously is something rarely found by the United States Supreme Court. Attorneys often use that argument, but hardly ever do rulings adopt it. And in this case, it met that rare standard that it was just, there was no real policy reason behind, getting rid of it, except for it was just arbitrary and meant to harm a particular group of people that there was no reason to harm. So DACA remains in place today, and eligible first-time applicants as well as renewals can still be filed to this day. And the most recent update on DACA is that on January 21st of 2021, so this year, right after the Biden administration came in on January 20th and got sworn in, they announced they would begin accepting DACA advanced parole applications, what they had stopped doing in 2017 after the Trump administration's announcement that they were going to end DACA. So they are accepting applications, and I will touch on the medical waivers as well for naturalization. So let me stop sharing my screen here. So like the USCIS representative earlier, the officer was stating about the N648. So those are the forms that get filed for medical waivers. If you're seeking a medical waiver, you need to get an N648 form that's filed with your N400. And those need to be completed by your doctor. Normally, it's going to be your regularly attended physician that you're going to for a long time. They're going to know more about your medical history than any other new physician you might go see. However, if that doctor decides that they don't want to fill that out, because some doctors don't feel comfortable filling out these immigration forms, then you can also go to uscis.gov. That's the USCIS website, and you can put in the search term civil surgeon locator, and you'll see, based on your zip code, a bunch of doctors who are approved to do medical examinations for USCIS, and most of those doctors will feel comfortable filling out immigration forms, so they're already authorized to do so. So you can go to the USCIS website, again, uscis.gov, and look for a authorized civil surgeon. You can visit them, go over your medical history, take your records with you, have them, examine or maybe even talk to your doctor to be able to fill out that form N648 if your regular doctor is not willing to do so. And examples of medical conditions, I get asked that quite often, that qualify. It might be a stroke. You might have had, someone might have had a stroke, or they have Alzheimer's or some type of condition, any other qualifying medical condition. The basics is that if it would prevent the person from learning a new language, so being able to read, write, or speak a new language, if that medical condition would prevent that, then they may qualify for that medical waiver. I also want to discuss a question that was asked earlier to the USCIS officer and just give you updates on what I'm seeing in my practice. And so just on Friday, I received a couple of appointment notices for N400s, and those were applications that we had filed in late May, and they are scheduled for interview in late March. So that's approximately 10 months. The officer said 12 months, and so that's within that time frame. So I just wanted to maybe give you a little bit more specific idea of how long it's taking at this moment. Like she said, it can change next week. It can, get much longer, but right now, as of yesterday, this is what I'm seeing in my practice. Also, the DACA renewals, I filed one in January, and I filed it like January 20 something. I've already gotten an approval. I received that yesterday. It was approved on February 8th. So that was less than a month that it took for a DACA renewal. And what the renewal approval says is that now they will start working on the I-765, which is the application for the work authorization or EAD card. So those are some current trends that I'm seeing with regard to processing times of both the DACA applications and N400s. And that concludes my presentation. Thanks for listening.